Hi, welcome to High School Challenge 2013. We're always happy to have you here with us. It's our 36th year of producing academic competition at Tompkins Cortland Community College. And as in past years, CSEA is providing a $3,000 prize to the top team, and we'll be seeing one of these two teams play for that prize later on in the finals. The teams are Cooperstown and Horseheads. Let's meet the team from Horseheads and their captain, Tim Claypool.
I'm Tim, I'm a senior, and that's about it.
I'm Joseph, I'm a junior, and I like to read.
I'm Shuchi, I'm a freshman, and I'm president of my class.
I'm Nate, I'm a freshman, and I love math.
Okay, the team from Horseheads building for the future under their new coach, or not their new coach, she's been there for a while, Pam Doran. Now let's meet the team from Cooperstown and their captain, Jake Miller.
Hi, my name is Jacob. My favorite cartographer is Alex Fox.
Hi, I'm Eric. My favorite phlebotomist is Alex Fox.
Hi, I'm Abby Brown, and my favorite rapper is Alex Fox.
And hi, I'm Tom Frank, and my favorite philosopher is Alex Fox.
I thought you were going to be Alex Fox. That worried me. The coach of Cooperstown is Tim Iverson. All right, we're ready to start our first semifinal match. One of these two teams going on to the finals. We start with nothing but toss-ups. Our first one is a 5-pointer. Louisa May Alcott followed up her 1868 success, Little Women, with what sequel?
Cooperstown, Jake.
Little Men.
Little Men is correct. It wasn't Son of Little Women, it was Little Men. For 10 points, it is not constant for materials in the plastic region since Hooke's law doesn't hold, and it is the value of the slope on a stress-strain diagram as it is equal to stress divided by strain. Name this measure of elasticity, named for a British...
Cooperstown, Tom.
Pass.
I'll finish it. Named for a British physicist who verified the wave nature of light with a double slit experiment. It is Young's modulus. For 5 points, broken, worked, been, and rung are all examples of what verb form?
Cooperstown, Eric.
The imperfect.
I'm sorry, no. Can you take it? Horseheads.
Horseheads, Tim.
The past tense.
I'm sorry, it's the past participle is what we're looking for there. For 10 points, advertisements for it in London in 1657 claimed it was a cure for scurvy and gout, among other things. As a result of seedlings smuggled out of France, it was first cultivated in 1727 in Brazil, which is today the world's largest producer of what?
Horseheads, Tim.
Sugar.
Not sugar. Can you take it? Cooperstown.
Cooperstown, Jake.
Coffee.
Coffee is correct for 10. Here's another 10-pointer. The past participle is generally the last word of the sentence. Are we speaking Spanish, French, German, or Russian?
Horseheads, Joseph.
German.
German is correct. For 5 points, in tennis, a player's second serve hits the top of the net and falls just over the net. What's the call?
Cooperstown, Tom.
A let?
Yes, that's correct. That's worth 5 points. Here's a 5-point visual. I want you to watch your monitor and tell me which word can directly follow these three.
Cooperstown, Jake.
Box.
Sorry, no. Horseheads?
Horseheads, Tim.
Cake.
No, it is cake. Fancy. A little black cake will not work. Dress is what we were looking for there. Fancy dress, wedding dress, little black dress. 5-point math toss-up now. If f of x equals 17 minus 2x squared, what is the value of f of negative 5? F of x equals 17 minus 2x squared. What's the value of f of negative 5?
Cooperstown, Eric.
Negative 33.
Negative 33 is correct for 5 points. Here's a 10-pointer. It covers an area greater than 9 U.S. states at 13,000 square miles. It's the largest national park. Wrangell.
Cooperstown, Jake.
Gateway to the Arctic.
I'll finish it. Wrangell St. Elias, located in which state? Horseheads. Still a toss-up.
Horseheads, Tim.
Alaska.
Alaska's correct, Tim. Tim for 10. Here's a 5-pointer. Joined to the duodenum, it contains beta cells in the islets of Langerhans.
Cooperstown, Abby.
The pancreas?
Pancreas is what we're looking for, and that brings us to the end of a well-played first round. What's our score, please, Scott?
Very close after one round. Cooperstown 30, Horseheads 20.
Okay, that brings us, as I said, to the end of round 1, which means it's time for the answer auction. And the answer auction question is this. Listen carefully. There are 8 countries in Europe whose capitals begin with the letter B. How many of those countries can you name? While they're making up their minds as to their opening bids, we will tell the people at home that the high bidding team must then give that number of correct answers without giving an incorrect answer, and they'll get 40 points if they can do that. If they're unable to do that, the other team must give just one correct answer, not already given, and if they can't do that correctly, then the original high bidder gets 20 points. So let's see what happens here. You have the bid Cooperstown. What is your opening bid, please?
At least 2. Okay. 2.
They give 2. Will you go 3, Tim?
Yes.
They'll go 3. Will you go 4?
Yeah, we'll go 4.
They'll go 4. Will you go 5?
No.
All right, 4, Cooperstown. 4 countries in Europe whose capitals begin with the letter B.
Germany,
Yes?
Belgium,
Yes?
the Netherlands,
I'm sorry, no. Give me one correct answer, Tim, for 20 points.
Slovakia.
Slovakia is correct, Bratislava. Switzerland is Bern, Hungary's Budapest, Romania's Bucharest, and Serbia's Belgrade. That brings us to the end of 2 rounds of play. Scott, what's our score, please?
After 2 rounds, Horseheads 40, Cooperstown 30.
All right, very close. Let's see what happens in our 3rd round, which is toss-ups and bonuses. Answer a toss-up correctly, you get a chance at a bonus worth 20 points. We'll be back in a moment with that round on TC3's High School Challenge 2013. Scott, what's our official score after 2 rounds of play?
After 2 rounds, Horseheads 40, Cooperstown 30.
All right, very, very close match. We move on now to toss-ups and bonuses. You answer a 10-point toss-up in this round, you not only get that 10 points, but a chance for your team to get 20 on a bonus. First bonus is in the category poems. Here's the toss-up for 10. They have only 3 externally quantifiable properties according to the no-hair theorem: charge, mass, and angular momentum. Thought to evaporate via Hawking radiation. What are these?
Cooperstown, Jake.
black holes.
Black holes is correct for 10 points. And here's your poems bonus, Cooperstown. Charles Simic, Kay Ryan, W.S. Merwin, Philip Levine, and Natasha Trethaway have each held what position since 2007?
Poet laureate
Of?
the United States.
Yes. Its title, The Boys' Thanksgiving Day, may not be familiar, but what is the famous first line of this Lydia Child poem set to music in the 19th century?
Over the river and through the woods.
That's correct. It dates back only to the 15th century AD. What is this 5-7-5 syllable poetic form?
What is a haiku?
That's right. And finally, its name is derived from the Italian for little song. What is this 14-line poetic form first made famous by Petrarch?
Sonnet? Sonnet.
Sonnet is correct.
All 20 points on the bonus.
Months, the capital of the next bonus. Here's the toss-up for 10. A poet, essayist, journalist, and philosopher. He died in military action on May 19, 1895. Who was this Cuban national hero? The answer is Jose Marti. For 10 points, still playing for that bonus in months. In January, former Vice President Al Gore sold his struggling broadcast network, Current TV, to which non-green business for $500 million?
Cooperstown Abbey.
Halliburton.
Sorry, no. Can you take it, Horseheads? You didn't know this, you're watching the wrong channel for news. It is Al Jazeera. Still playing for months. This toss-up for 10 points. This group is separated by number of cotyledons into monocots and dicots, and they use animals and wind to carry pollen from stamens.
Cooperstown Abbey.
Seeds.
I'll finish it. To carry pollen from stamens to an ovule enclosed within the pistil of their characteristic part. Name this group of plants that grows flowers.
Horseheads, Joseph.
Angiosperms.
Angiosperms is correct for 10. And here is your bonus in months. I want you to identify the months by these descriptions. It's named from the Latin for 9.
September.
September is correct. It's named for the god of war.
March.
March is correct. It's named for the god of doors and gates.
January.
It's correct. And finally, it's named for the goddess of plant growth.
April, May.
Captain?
April.
I'm sorry, no, it's May.
15 points on the bonus.
World War II France is the category of the next bonus. Here's the toss-up for 10. Al Jazeera, which we'll call current TV Al Jazeera America, is headquartered in Doha.
Horseheads, Tim.
And that is in Bahrain.
I'm sorry, no. Can you take it, Cooperstown? It's the capital of which Arabian Peninsula country?
Cooperstown, Jake.
Saudi Arabia.
No, it's Qatar. Still playing for that bonus in the category World War II France. They commonly use UTF-8 or ASCII encoding, and several of them can be joined together in concatenation. What are these variables often used to store sequences of symbols, especially text?
Cooperstown, Eric.
Loci.
I'm sorry, no. Can you take it, Horseheads? The answer is strings. Still playing for that bonus, World War II France, for 10 points. It can be chronic, in which case it can't be cured, or it may occur as a precursor of a more serious respiratory.
Cooperstown, Jake.
Bronchitis. Bronchitis.
I'm sorry, I can't accept that. I'll finish the question for Horseheads. A more serious respiratory ailment, spell bronchitis.
Horseheads, Tim.
Brochitis.
That's incorrect. You left out the N. Bronchitis. Still playing for that World War II France bonus. Here's a 10-point toss-up. He was a 17th century Welsh pirate who later became the lieutenant governor of Jamaica. Name this man, known today as the symbol and namesake of a brand of spiced.
Horseheads, Tim.
Henry Morgan.
Captain Henry Morgan. Captain Morgan, brand of spiced rum. And here's your World War II France bonus, Horseheads. What was the famous French defensive line which proved no obstacle at all to the German forces?
The Maginot Line.
That's correct. When the Germans took France, a new German-controlled government was put in place in what city of the Auvergne region?
Vichy.
Vichy is correct. What French general was made head of state for the next 4 years when France was figuratively ruled from Vichy?
Pétain.
Pétain is correct. And finally, after the war, Pétain's death sentence for treason was commuted to life imprisonment by his protege and predecessor, the leader of the Free French, who became the first post-war leader of France. Name him.
Charles de Gaulle.
Charles de Gaulle is correct.
All 20 on the bonus.
That brings us to the end of the bonus round because we've run out of toss-ups. And we'll be back with the category round coming up. But first, let's check the score. What's our score, please, Scott?
Still very close going into the category round. 95-60 in favor of Horseheads over Cooperstown.
Okay, only 25 points separating the two teams. That means Cooperstown, you'll have first choice in the category round. These 4 categories will be the ones we're playing with: stocks, bonds, overnight success, and not exactly banking. We'll be back to see which categories they choose and how well they do with them on TC3's High School Challenge 2013. Is that score official, Scott?
Yes, it is. 95 for Horseheads, 60 for Cooperstown.
Okay, well played both teams to this point. You have first choice of categories, Cooperstown. What are you choosing?
Overnight success.
Overnight success, okay. Ready with the timer, and start the timer, please. What was Edgar Rice Burroughs' first novel?
Pass.
Who found success with a first novel titled Player Piano?
Vonnegut.
Yes. Whose first full-length work was a travel book entitled The Innocents Abroad?
Pass.
Who saw her first play, The Children's Hour, performed in 1934?
Alcott.
Alcott.
No. Whose first novel was The Young Lions?
Jane Goodall.
Goodall.
No. What Irish author caused quite a stir with his banned in Boston novel, The Ginger Man?
James Joyce.
No. The Natural was the first offering of what writer?
Hawthorne.
No. Who published The Naked and the Dead in 1948?
Pass.
What was Ray Bradbury's first novel?
Fahrenheit 451.
Yes. Whose first novel was 1893's Maggie, a Girl of the Streets?
Stephen Crane.
Crane.
Crane is correct.
30 points for Cooperstown.
So you picked up 30, a chance to steal 70 Horseheads if you can tell me immediately the answers to these questions. What was Edgar Rice Burroughs' first novel?
Pass.
Tarzan of the Apes. Whose first full-length published work was a travel book titled The Innocents Abroad?
Hemingway.
Mark Twain. Who saw her first play, The Children's Hour, performed in 1934?
Pass.
Lillian Hellman. Whose first novel was The Young Lions?
Hemingway.
Irwin Shaw. What Irish author caused quite a stir with his banned in Boston novel, The Ginger Man?
George Bernard Shaw.
J.P. Dunleavy. The Natural was the first offering of what writer?
Hemingway.
Bernard Malamud. Who published The Naked and the Dead in 1948?
Norman Mailer.
Norman Mailer is correct. And that was
10
the last
second chance
one.
points for Horseheads.
Got 10 on their category. What are you choosing for your own, Tim?
Not exactly banking.
Not exactly banking. Remember, all of the answers will sound like banking terms. All right. Ready with the timer? Start the timer, please. What Hungarian American won the 1962 Enrico Fermi Award?
Pass.
What verb beginning with C means hide?
Pass.
In football, it's blocking. What is it in hockey?
Checking.
Yes. He started as a Texas Ranger, but what kind of Ranger did John Reed become?
The Lone Ranger.
Yes. What's the arched structure forming the ceiling of a Gothic cathedral?
The Vault.
Yes. What single word beginning with S is synonymous with the words except for?
Pass.
What does an addict undergo to kick the habit?
Rehab.
No. What's the term beginning with D for a large amount of unmined mineral?
Deposit.
Yes. What title-wise was Dracula?
Count.
Yes. And what's the more common name for military conscription?
The draft.
Yes.
That's 60
Hey, so
points for Horseheads.
All right. Chance to steal some points here, Cooperstown, if you
What
can
is
answer
it?
these.
Hang on.
What Hungarian American won the 1962 Enrico Fermi Award?
Teller.
Edward Teller is right. What verb beginning with C means hide?
Cover.
Cover.
Cash. What single word beginning with S is synonymous with the words
Sans.
except for?
Sans. Sans.
Save. What does an addict undergo to kick the habit?
Withdrawal.
Withdrawal is correct.
20 second chance points for Cooperstown.
All right, well done, Cooperstown. And that brings us to the end of round 4. What's our score, please, Scott?
Still everything to play for a spot in the finals. It's Horseheads 165, Cooperstown 110.
55 points. That's not much in this next round because we've got lots of 10 and 15-point toss-ups to bring us to the end of the match. We'll be back with that round in a moment on TC3's High School Challenge 2013. What's our official score, please, Scott?
It's 165 for Horseheads, 110 for Cooperstown.
Okay, very well played match so far. Let's see what happens in our last round, which is nothing but toss-ups, hands on buzzers, except for Tom will have his hand on the bell. For those of you who are wondering why you hear the bell, it's because Tom's buzzer went bad on him, so he is now doing the bell. Here we go for 15 points. If you have only dimes and nickels, 5 times as many dimes as nickels, and the total value of the coins you have is $11, how many nickels do you have? We're going to give you 15 seconds to figure this out. You have only dimes and nickels, and you have 5 times as many dimes as you have nickels. Total value of the coins is $11. How many nickels do you have?
Horseheads, Tim.
You have 20 nickels. And
You have, in fact, 20 nickels. That's all we needed. You have 100 dimes as well. For 15 points, he used synthetic resin-based liquid paint, which he dripped onto canvas or applied with...
That's Cooperstown, Tom.
Pollock.
Jackson Pollock is correct, Tom. Well done. For 10 points, the region surrounding it is called the Painted Desert. What is this national park in Arizona whose name sounds as if it's extremely scared?
Cooperstown, Jake.
Carlsbad.
I'm sorry, no. Can you take it, Horseheads?
Horseheads, Tim.
Petrified Forest.
The Petrified Forest is correct. For 10 points, submarines were used in both the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, but they were primitive compared to the electrically powered Nautilus that is the primary setting for what, 1870?
Horseheads, Tim.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
That's correct, Tim, the Jules Verne novel. For 10 points, you're speaking to your 4-year-old cousin. Ask her how she is in either French, Spanish, or German.
That's Cooperstown, Tom.
Ça va?
Not really, no.
Horseheads, Shuchi.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo vas-tu would be the way of saying, how are you? What you're asking, if you say ça va, is how's it going? For 15 points, in the mid-17th century, this American colony began its practice of intruding on its citizens' lives for their own good by passing a law requiring all towns with 50 or more families to establish schools or pay a fine. Which current state, the first to require all of its citizens to buy health insurance, was it?
Horseheads, Tim.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is correct, Tim, for 15. Here's a 10-pointer. The 3-horned herbivorous dinosaur Triceratops.
That is Cooperstown, Jake.
Is it?
Yes, it's you.
I don't know.
I'll finish it for Horseheads. Triceratops shared the late Cretaceous period with its main predator, a dinosaur featured on T-shirts that say he hates push-ups. What is the name of this predator?
Horseheads, Tim.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. He does hate push-ups. I have a 15-point audio toss-up now. I want you to listen to this and name the language in which it's being sung.
Cooperstown, Jake.
Hebrew.
It's not Hebrew.
Horseheads, Tim.
Latin.
It is Russian. It's the Volga boat song. For 15 points, 2 African countries face each other across the Congo River. Their official names are Democratic Republic of the Congo and Republic of the Congo, but they're sometimes differentiated by their capital cities, which are named what?
Horseheads, Tim.
Brazzaville and Leopoldville.
I'm sorry, no. Can you take it, Cooperstown? It's Brazzaville and Kinshasa. For 15 points. And we're out of time. Let us get that official final score, please. Scott?
Official final score, Horseheads 235, Cooperstown 125.
All right, very well played, both teams. We'll be back to validate the score and say goodbye to our friends on TC3's High School Challenge 2013. Scott, is that final score official?
Yes, it is. Horseheads advances to their second final in 3 years with a 235 to 125 win over Cooperstown.
All right, well played, Horseheads. Cooperstown, we thank you for coming up and competing. You did a terrific job. Horseheads are going to go on to play the winner of the Ithaca Montrose match in the finals. Thank you for watching High School Challenge. We always appreciate having a large audience, and we hope to see you again next time on High School Challenge 2013.